Oh boy, the internet really is absolutely unhinged as this video comes from the White House.
Tried this one? Have you ever tried this one? Have you ever tried this one?
What? Yep, that's the official White House channel. As the conversation online definitely has been a little unhinged, to say the least. Now, looking at the conversation that has been now predominantly dominant about Candace Owens, it's only going to get more interesting as TPUSA has just now offered a challenge for Candace Owens to join them on a live stream. Now, Candace accepted. We're going to be playing both of those videos, breaking everything down, as some people are saying, wait, hold on, what's really going on here? As people are taking sides in this MAGA anti-establishment civil conflict. As on one side, we have Tim Pool, the quartering. On the other side, we have Milo Yiannopoulos and others that are supporting Candace Owens, as this divide is becoming more and more real, as Tim Pool definitely let the world know how he felt about Candace, which a lot of people, like Crowder CEO, are cheering on. Is he right in his indignation of what he calls a deliberate effort to try to destroy TPUSA? Well, we're going to be getting a conversation which I think is going to be good and great and healing, as of course the conversation so far has been very reductive. I could only hope, and I like to be optimistic, I like to be very positive, that this will lead towards an understanding, towards a ceasing of tensions, and an understanding that, hey, we got a lot of more important fights ahead of us instead of just fighting each other. That's the type of video we're going to be doing here, as well as just breaking down all the latest type of drama. If you appreciate these types of videos, subscribe, click the notification button. We greatly appreciate all the time that you spend with us here on this independent media channel. Now, let's just get right into it. TPUSA on their show just announced saying, you know what, Candace, you want to say all these things about this? Say it to our face. And listen, I have a more nuanced take on this. We've been talking about this issue. This issue has been gaining and galvanizing a lot of discussions online. And it's one of the content pieces that has been doing the best. I do a geopolitical deep dive analysis of international foreign affairs domestically for the United States that's changing dramatically with like World War proportions. And it's like, oh yeah, your lowest viewed video ever. Hey, Candace said this, Tim said this. People are like, kind of questioning here. What am I doing here? But there are some things to talk about when it comes to the media landscape, where we are going as a movement, very serious accusations being kind of delved out here. Personally, I think Candace has done some good stuff. Some of the stuff I disagreed with. When I disagreed with stuff, I called it out. I think some of the attacks on TPUSA are unwarranted, unfounded, and deal in the realm of a lot of speculation and hearsay without any type of legitimate proof and evidence that I have seen personally that concludes that somehow TPUSA, and again, the language is very generalized here, so we got to be careful here because Candace does use very specific, careful language. We'll get into all of that and a lot more all throughout this particular broadcast here. Now, here's TPUSA announcing, you know what? Let's have this conversation.
So that Candace can manipulate and string along an audience of people who don't realize they are being played. Instead of being able to grieve properly after one of the most heinous murders in American history, a murder many of us had to witness, my friends have had to endure harassment from people who have gotten whipped up by what Candace is saying.
Now, some of the stuff I think is a little bit more kind of ridiculous. Like, this guy took a selfie video during the midst of, I mean, trauma has, and again, as it was breaking down, as these accusations were coming down, we were trying to, as best as we could, without emotion and logically, break them down and say, okay, I think some of this is legitimate, some of this is not legitimate. I do believe that there has been a lot of unwarranted treatment towards TPUSA, Erica Kirk especially. And listen, imagine, being a part and having a friend in an organization and then they're gone and then everyone's like pointing the finger at you. It's not a nice and pleasant thing that these guys have to go through. Like, and again, Some of them are starting up the fight, and the people who are starting up the fight, Candace is kind of responding to as well. But that's a whole different story. There are a lot of other people that have been caught up in this that, again, I don't believe are a part of some kind of grander, sinister conspiracy here. And I do believe that is a fair observation to make.
In fact, I would say we have suffered more harassment from these people than we have from Antifa supporters who overtly celebrate Charlie's murder. And just like a lot of those Antifa members, many of these people take this delight in how gross and unpleasant they can be. What our friends have had to endure is not funny, and it's not insignificant. It is evil. I have seen it. For months, we have received hundreds.
To call it evil, I mean, yeah, there's some evil people out there, but we got to understand here, a lot of this has been kind of filled in through the misdoings of the federal government that hasn't been the most open, honest, and transparent with us. And now, with a lot of the kind of information being barred from the general public during the court proceedings, it's only going to create more type of speculation. And I would argue that there wouldn't be a lot of the speculation if there actually was high trust and reliability and legit action by the FBI, the DOJ, that I think has been doing an absolutely not good job, specifically when it comes to this. It's messaging, it's marketing, and the whole Epstein stuff that just absolutely threw everything into the wind. Now, before playing the rest of this clip and playing Candace's response, the quartering is saying she just canceled. Other people are supporting her. Other people are hating her. We'll go through all the kind of alliances that are being set up here. Just before we do, just really quickly, sign up to lookonfiltered.com. It's quick, it's easy, it's simple, and it means the world to us. 20 cents a day, $8 a month. I work for you. I don't work for foreign governments. I don't work for special lobbyist groups. I work for you, and I want to work for you, and I want to continue to work for you. Overall, numbers, views, money down in November, which I looked at the books and I'm like, I'm losing money actually doing this. I won't be able to do this long without your support. Your support needed now more than ever. We just opened up the Discord and the chat is going off. A lot of great conversations with the chat right now. A lot of people sharing a lot of great stuff. We have other channels on our main channel. We have our general channel. We have channel about sharing life hacks, about off-grid living. What videos you want me to do. We're going to do specific AMAs. We're going to have you guys call in. This is a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying this new kind of Discord platform that we have set up here for you guys. And it's a way to communicate with me one-on-one. You can do that just by signing up to lookonfiltered.com and supporting and growing this independent media network and organization through your one-on-one direct participation support. And if you want to know anything, you want to ask me anything, boom, bada bing. The Discord is the place to do it, especially with all the different side conversations that are taking place there. So sign up right now. As soon as you log in, you get access to the Discord. The login is there available to you. Now, let's play the rest of this TPUSA announcement, and then we'll play Candace's response soon.
Hundreds, thousands, I suspect, emails and calls asking us to respond. People have wanted us to invite.
And sometimes they have. Andrew Colville has responded to some of them. He just responded to Candace's latest claims about BB Bucks. He confirmed BB's letter. He confirmed Candace's text. And some people are saying he's doing a poor job. Some people are saying he's doing a great job. I mean, I think he's doing the best he can, from what I'm seeing.
Invite Candace on the show. But for a long time, our approach was to say nothing. We did that for several reasons. First, we thought that her prevarications were so absurd that nobody would believe them. We shouldn't have to answer questions about secret tunnels or Egyptian Air Force planes. That sort of thing is it's beneath contempt to respond to. The second reason we've said
some people will argue that's a straw man, and then you should, strong man it. But regardless.
So little, though, is because there's a good rule of thumb, which Charlie followed. Do not feed the trolls. Focus on the mission. Reviving America, uplifting young people, making heaven crowded. Don't give air to people who want to tear you down and sow discord. Lastly, we didn't respond because Charlie always viewed Candace as a friend, and we were holding out hope that she would return that friendship and stop what she was doing. But a week from now, it's going to be 3 months since Charlie's murder.
And then he has said, well, we're inviting you. Let's have this conversation. Let's have a debate. Candace, after being called to have this public discussion live stream with TPUSA, responded by saying this.
All right, you guys, it's happening. It's happening. Everybody stay calm. After yesterday's episode where we went kind of for the jugular with Turning Point USA, because really I think everybody in the entire world has had enough with the non-response, trying to move on, trying to gaslight us, not answering basic details. So we just went for it. And guess what? Turning Point has moved to formally respond to all the things that we have said. And after a very long diatribe in which they wildly misrepresent the public and global investigation of Charlie Kirk's assassination, they at long last issued a public invitation or a challenge. I'm not sure what it is, but I accept, okay? Quite literally, all we have ever asked for were sensible answers to our basic questions about what transpired on September 10th. And it looks like we're going to get those things. So major, major win. I am excited. Also, later on in the show, what I have for you is The Game, whose rapper is releasing a song that is entitled The Assassination of Candace Owens. And I have more questions. I've got questions. Am I allowed to have questions? Welcome back.
As of course, a lot of this has started with questions. As right now, people are saying that the date has been set here. And now a lot of people have questions about how this will be kind of conducted. As Blake Neff, the producer of the Charlie Kirk Show, says the live stream we announced on the show Wednesday has been set. At 4 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. local time, December 15th, a collection of Charlie's friends will respond to statements made by Candace Owens to set the record straight and once and for all prior to the opening of America Fest. We'll all be live streaming from Charlie's Phoenix studio. Our offer from yesterday holds. If Candace wishes to join us in person in Phoenix, she is welcome to do so. She can let us know by the end of the day. Now, there's a lot of Candace supporters, like Clint Russell, who are saying people are sleeping on Candace. TPUSA seems to think that they are going to bring her on and embarrass her. Not going to happen. They have no idea what they are in for. And again, people are like, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a fight. And I'm like, can we just have a peaceful discussion and understanding to bring some of these rumors, to bring better understanding? Can we just try to come to a conversation where it's like, okay, we're actually going to try to understand each other. All right, we're actually going to try to get information out there and to stop some of the craziness. Can we do that? That's what I would hope for. But already like, war, we're going to win. I'm going to win. I don't think that's the right energy to kind of get into this, as the quartering says, and Candace Owens is already backed out, LOL. And then he retweets Candace. I don't think the quartering's right here either, as Candace Owens responded to this by saying, kind of weird how you didn't email or call me to ask about times or availability and choose to instead tweet this confirmation out at midnight. Why am I learning this on X? December 15th does not work in person, and 2 p.m. PT is also literally time I do my live podcast every day, which you knew. But we will happily cancel the daily podcast and will join you guys virtually instead for the live stream on the 15th if that works on your end. Let's lock it in. Yeah, come on. Come on, Jeremy. She's not canceling. She's like, I just won't be there in person. And listen, lots of security concerns, lots of... even whether you think it's the French, whatever, even outside of that, even outside of like any kind of like conspiracy talk, lots of threats, lots of harassments, lots of things being hurled around everywhere, and security is a major issue. Now, Tim Pool definitely is not a Candace fan and is beefing with her as he describes what she is doing as trying to essentially destroy TPUSA. Here is what he had to say last night.
And tell you this, Candace lighting a Molotov and throwing it through the window is not helping. And it's the most demoralizing thing ever. Additionally, all of the fucking cowards on the right who are too scared to say anything about her, because she tweets at me talking shit or whatever, and then a bunch of people come and flood our chat. I could give a single flying fuck. You can
Now, there's different ways to approach this situation, right? For me personally, I decided to approach it by going after every claim and saying, no, I think this one's wrong. I think this one's baseless. I think this one's legitimate, and having a legitimate conversation. But it's pretty clear here that when the kind of supporters of Tim, supporters of Candace kind of go at it, they kind of amplify the situation, make it a lot more tense of a situation than it actually is. Now, I think... Can we just have a reason? Why does everything have to be Jerry Springer? Why?
Come and you can burn everything I have to the ground, and I will happily live in a van down by the river. I don't care to be number one. I don't need to be number one. What I care about is what is true and what will help this country and what works.
Now, Tim Pool does make an argument here, because when you do criticize Candace supporters kind of come out. But also the same thing goes for everybody else. But Candace does have a lot of people supporting her, a lot of people liking her, and a lot of people defending her, right? And a lot of people are afraid to kind of criticize this because she's now kind of like the top dog. Let's just be real. People are like, is it going to be Ben? Is it going to be Nick? No, it's Candace, right? I do believe there also is another misnomer here that I lightly disagreed with Tim, especially when it comes to the Q Bono benefit. But it does seem like this big umbrella that Charlie Kirk was holding up with all of us in it is being destroyed. Now, he accuses Candace of destroying it. And I do believe there are some things to think about, especially when it comes to TPUSA and how strong and big of a movement it was that helped Donald Trump to get elected. And now the kind of major attacks that are happening against it.
And she is a fucking scumbag, okay? And she's getting worse every day. And she crossed the line. She continually crosses the line every day, insinuating that Turning Point literally killed the guy who made them all rich. And I hear this in the street.
And it's an insinuation. And it does seem like it is an insinuation that I think is unfounded. If there was any kind of like real legitimate information, then I would, of course, hear it out. And I did hear it out, and I don't see anything, to be quite honest with you.
And at a certain point, I'm like, holy shit, we're going to lose the midterms. We're going to lose the
I think that's inevitable now. My theory is because of the Epstein stuff that has disenfranchised and blackpilled all the people in the middle that voted for Donald Trump that were hoping for him to burn down the system. More in part, I think it's because of the economy, right? And Trump's trying to do this like, oh, look, Walmart says your Thanksgiving's cheaper this year on these kind of like weird select items. But it's not. Electricity prices going up, AI demand for it going up, housing still a major issue in this country. A lot of people in massive amounts of credit card debt, car loan debt, mortgage debt. And a lot of people are like, yeah, and we even said this before Trump was elected, that they're going to crash the economy when Trump's in office and blame all of his populist right-wing policies. And they're going to have this perfect freaking excuse for socialism and UBI, which Trump is already participating in by trying to give out $2,000 checks right before the midterms. Is it Candace that's responsible for this? No, but the infighting isn't helping, right? Some people would say, yes, it is. There's other layers to this that I think are more worthy of consideration and conversation. So,
midterms, then we're going to lose in 2028, and it's because she's a piece of shit. Because instead of saying, guys, let's come together and figure out how to work together, she says the stupidest, retarded crap. And now everybody's running around divided and broken. For what reason? For literally what reason? Now, guess what? I'm not on the best of terms with Turning Point either. In case you didn't remember, they didn't invite us this year, and it's become a big thing or whatever.
Yeah, and that's kind of disappointing too. I remember being like, hey, man, let us know. Speaking of TPUSA, let us know what you need. And then it just never happened. And then they're like, okay, fine, we'll do it now after Tim complained. I'm like, no, it just looks bad now. It looks like Tim is just complaining and getting his way. No, that also looks bad too. And I understand Tim saying, yeah, I'm not dealing with this. This is nonsense. And there were arguments and things happening behind the scenes that aren't the nicest of things to deal with.
I have nothing. I can say I know what they are. I know what they do, and I'm glad they do it. And if we don't get along, so be it. I don't know that they make it without Charlie, whatever. But what is the purpose of intentionally fanning the flames for 3 endless months of just nonstop retard shit.
Some people say clicks, attention, it's a hell of a drug. Some people say it's emotions, non-logical type of thinking. Some would say it's a part of some kind of larger sinister motive. Other people are saying, no, it's legitimate questions and holding powerful institutions accountable. But the powerful institution is TPUSA, and it's kind of not, you're kind of like kicking it when it's down, when it lost its rudder and its leader. And that's why Tim comes up with this type of argument. Do you think he is correct? Let me know down in the comment section below. I can't thank you guys enough for signing up. The people that do are awesome. I love talking to you guys, and I love interacting with you guys. You guys make this operation run, and I can't thank you enough for that. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechanged.